All right, Panthers fans, it's Pink Slip Day. Today, the Carolina Panthers made their first snip of the season. Who made the cut and who was the shocking surprise wave? You don't want to miss this. Let's get into it. Hey everybody, I'm your host, El Grande Gato, also known as the Big Cat, and this is 1995 The Roar, a channel for the fans, by a fan, restoring the roar. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, share, stick around for a while, get in the comment section so I can get some good feedback and also encourage growth in the algorithm. With that being said, today we're here to talk with the Carolina Panthers. First cut, we got 19 more players left on the roster. Who made it and who was the shocking move? Well, I'm going to tell you all about it in today's episode, The First Roar. All right, y'all. On the first roar today, we're here to talk about the players that were waived. We got quarterback Plummer, Bryce Perkins, the UFL MVP at quarterback, Emani Bailey at running back. You got Lynch-Adams at running back as well. Two young studs here, or young up-and-coming guys, Hudson and Jacolby George. Unfortunately, those guys didn't make it to the receiver room in a very, very heated and in-depth battle right there. You got TJ Luther, who didn't make it as well at the wide receiver position. You got Dominic Danley at the tight end room, offensive lineman Steven Luce. You got offensive lineman Luke Kendre. The guy with six fingers, JJ Weaver, a guy who I thought I was rooting for him. Hopefully he was going to be able to make it, but he did not. Linebacker Jacob Winderman, cornerback Jatarius Broughton. You got Mello Dotson at the cornerback room, Trey Swillings, he didn't make it as well. Safety Jack Henderson, Isaiah Guilford at the safety position, and Matthew Wright. Looking at this roster, man, in the first initial cut here, there was no real big surprise, but there is something that the Carolina Panthers did that has my attention. If you guys look on the top of your screen right there, you'll see Jack Plummer and Bryce Perkins gone. So, which if you don't know, man, the Carolina Panthers literally are gambling with two quarterbacks, and that's one's Andy Dalton and one Bryce Young here. I don't know how I feel about that. We know Andy Dalton had gotten a car accident last year, and even this preseason he was dealing with, I guess, a little injury he had there. So, you know, Andy Dalton being old, I know he's experienced. He can provide some experience from his, you know, his prior experience, but at the end of the day, you're taking a big gamble. You're telling Panther Nation, hey, these are your two quarterbacks for good or worse, right? Now, I don't know. We still got, you know, teams that are going to go scout the waiver wire when teams, you know, cut their people and stuff. So it's going to be interesting to see if we pick up another quarterback. But from what I'm hearing, this is it, y'all. Bryce or nothing. Andy's, you know, pretty much just, you know, a clipboard holder. I think it's for better or worse, man. I mean, you're going to get Bryce. Good, bad, and ugly. I mean, whatever comes out of it, they're giving him the keys to the kingdom, and there's no safety net. I thought Jack Plummer would have been a good, you know, I just put it like this, a usable arm. You know what I mean? Somebody that can go in there and just kind of be a game manager. You know what I mean? But I'm concerned, man, because I'm looking down the line, and I'm looking for development, right? You want your backup to be, you know, equal to or if not, or I just say, let's say equal to competency when it comes to playing the quarterback position. Andy Dalton is equal or greater than Bryce when it comes to the mental aspect, but he's not going to be here forever. That's my point. You know, you want to at least say, I got a young gun that can come in here, you know, if blah, 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 push come to shove. So it's interesting how that's going to play out. Maybe they're just looking short term and say, hey, this is good enough for the season, all right? When you look back on this roster when it comes to who got cut today, another thing that stood out to me is this wide receiver room got a little more thinner, man. Hudson and Jacolby George. Jacolby George from University of Miami, Hudson from Central Florida. Both of these guys were, I believe, either second-team All-American or third-team All-Americans coming out of college, man. I remember watching them. So it was unfortunate because I didn't really hear much about them. They didn't really do much to separate themselves here. So that's unfortunate, man. And that wide receiver room is quite deep. So, you know, as much as I would love to have seen one of them make it, maybe as a special teamer or even a returner, you know, you got to stand out, okay? The other real big news is really the kicker, Matthew Wright here, ended up getting cut. At this point, I don't feel safe with our kicking room, right? Let's take a look at something. I think this kicking room is, at this point, you kept the guy who's decent enough, okay? I don't know what to make of it. I think the Carolina Panthers are not sold on it. They got Ryan Fitzgerald right there, man. So I don't know, man. I just don't know, y'all. We dealt with a lot of funny stuff when it comes to this kicking room in Carolina these past couple of years. So again, I can only hope that they're probably scouting other people's waiver wire, and seeing what potential they can get out of it. But for now, I guess it would do here. Now, going into tomorrow, we still got 19 cuts to be made here. One of the things I'm focusing on, I think you guys should be focused on, is this wide receiver room, right? Right now, they got 9 receivers. They got Adam Thielen, T-Mac, Leggett, Croker, Winfro, David Moore. You got Bryson, Tremaine, Jasim Reed, and Jimmy Horn here, okay? If I'm just making a guess here, I'm going to say off top, you know, at least 3 of these guys are going. I'm thinking probably Bryce and Tremaine probably going to practice squad. Jasim Reed is definitely gone. And then it's probably David Moore. You know what I mean? Those are my 3 that are probably going to be gone. I think we carry 6. And those 6 are T-Mac, Adam Thielen, Leggett, Croker, Winfro, and Jimmy Horn. So if any of those guys that I named don't get cut, that means it's going somewhere else, in which that'll be a shock. So pay attention tomorrow. That's really the biggest news here, okay? So we're looking at, let's see, 1, 2, 3 guys from the wide receiver room probably going tomorrow. Another guy we're looking at tomorrow is Raheem Blackshear. Well, look, man, he's one of my guys I love since a while, man. You know what I mean? Good when it comes to the return game, but he just had a real shaky offseason here, especially in the preseason. I think he had a fumble. Just doesn't look like he's outshining anybody, and that's important, right? We want guys that can be competitive. We don't want guys to be complacent, right? That's another C word. So, although, you know, one of my favorite return guys, you know what I mean? You got Trevor Etienne. He's a rookie. He has made some mistakes, but his upside is so high. So that's probably number 4 that's going tomorrow, Raheem Blackshear. Take a look at the offensive line. When it comes to the offensive line, you know, your 5 are pretty much set. You got Akeem Aquanu, Damian Lewis, Austin Corbett. Taylor Moe just got paid. Robert Hunt. Let me hold $1, Taylor. And then after that, you got to kind of look behind there, man. And again, this offensive line is, we're thin when it comes to injuries, right? So I don't think they're going to cut too much into it here. You may get a 3rd stringer here or 2. Maybe Jared Kingston's gone. Somebody I will keep my eye on, or probably is on the hot seat after this season. I don't think he's going to get cut this year. It's probably Chandler Zavalia, a guy who had high expectations. He's been in and out the injury tub for a little bit here. But again, I'm not saying that they will cut him, but I think, you know, the writing's on the wall after this year if he can't perform for him, all right? So if you guys got a different opinion, let me know. You think somebody in the off the lineman room probably get cut there? Where else, man? So to me, that's about it on offense. Those receivers, you're probably going to get a Raheem Blackshear cut. Let's take a look at this tight end here. We got Mitchell Evans. We got James Mitchell, Jatavion Sanders. I doubt we carry 4 tight ends. Hell, I doubt we carry 3 tight ends. You know what I mean? We got Tommy Tremble, Jatavion Sanders, Mitchell Evans, and James Mitchell. Somebody, or maybe 2, maybe Mitchell Evans and James Mitchell both are out. If we carry 3 tight ends, I'm going to be shocked. I really would. I really would. Unless we're getting, and if we do carry 3 tight ends, that's almost a sign that's saying we're going to run the ball a hell of a lot, right? Because you want those guys on the edge to secure the edge. So that's another tell sign. So keep your eye on that, man. But I think we'll run 2. Tommy Tremble, Jatavion Sanders, probably the guys that are probably going to get the most usage here. If we flip to the defensive side of the ball, a couple guys who I think could be cut tomorrow. Let's take a look here. Where's he at? Is he gone already? DJ Johnson, come on down. Dun, 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 dun. You are the winner. DJ Johnson, listen, man, I think he's from that Scott Fitter regime. Came over here, was supposed to be the ultimate male specimen. You know what I mean? Just hasn't been that way, you know, unfortunately, man. And again, this preseason, he hasn't stood out. He's almost just, you know, one of the guys there, man. We need guys that can stand out. And fortunately, I think he's going to be on that list tomorrow, one of those 19 players here. If you look at the defensive line over here, you got Jaden Cromley, a rookie guy here. You got Sam Roberts. You got Jared Harrison. And then you got Cam Jackson. Cam Jackson's the guy they brought in from Florida here. He has made a couple plays in the preseason, but I definitely see us probably cutting Crumney, Sam Roberts, and probably Jaden Harrison. I think Cam Jackson moves up the depth chart to about the 3rd spot, right, at the nose tackle. Mainly with us not being able to stop the run last year, you don't want to cut a guy that's that massive of a guy, right? You know, I know they got Bobby Brown. Shot Teller's mid to me, if you ask me, no disrespect. But Cam Jackson has showed you he has some bright spots, so I don't expect for him to be cut on that roster here. Linebacker room here, you got Patrick Jones, Christian Rosenbroom, you got Trevion Wallace, and DJ Wanham. By the way, I'm going to say this for the 100th time. I believe in this linebacking core. Remember, you heard it here first. Everybody else was jumping off the bandwagon. So with that being said, man, you got Chris Burns, you got Claudian Shirless, you got Nick Scorton, you got Princey Manley here, man. So I see a lot of these guys getting cut, you know what I mean? Be interested if they do keep Chris Burns, you know what I mean? He played with the Cardinals last year. I think he was in Carolina before. So be interested to see how that fit in, man, if they keep him. You got Thomas Incoom, you got Boogie Basham, you got John Radham, you got Bam Martin Scott, and I think those guys are gone as well, okay? Let's take a look at this cornerback room. You got Mike Jackson, and you got J.C. Horn, Shamir Bartholomew, Corey Thornton. I'm a big Corey Thornton fan. Hope he gets stick around for a while. You got Akeem Evans. I mean, literally, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to keep it a buck. There's a lot of people in this cornerback room I don't even know, man. I'm going to keep it a stack, man. And that concerns me gravely, man. And I think you're going to find out sooner than later how much it concerns me. So the core guys will still be there. You know, Shaw Smith, Wade, J.C. Horn, and Mike Jackson will still be there, man. But, you know, it's going to be interesting if Shamar Bartholomew, Corey Thornton, how that shakes out. You know what? I wouldn't be surprised if they both made the roster, right? Won't be surprised if one of them goes. But I'm rooting for Corey Thornton. No disrespect to Bartholomew. I know he had, you know, heck of a preseason the year before, and he's been serviceable. So, you know what I mean? We'll see. We'll see how it plays out. But a couple of these guys are on my cut radar. As far as the safeties, we got Nick Scott, Travion Morton, probably your starters. You got Latham Ramsey and Damani Richardson. I think both of those guys should be safe, okay? I like Damani Richardson. Latham, he's a rookie, you know, so I think he'll give him some grace and get him some burn, probably start off a special team, maybe even play in certain situations, all right? With that being said, man, that's the gist of the rosters, man. You guys get in the comment section. You let me know who you think is going to be cut tomorrow. That's what I'm looking forward to seeing, you know what I mean? But all in all, man, takeaway for today, much to do about nothing, right? A couple guys that we expect to be cut. Really, this quarterback room just down to 2 people. It's a little dicey move, but hey, I guess we're going to roll with it here. Get in the comment section. Let me know how you feel about that. Are you Bryce we trust or Andy Dalton? Are you okay with that? And give me your prediction. We got 19 more spots left. Let me know who's getting cut. Speaking of spots left, we got fantasy football, y'all. It's coming to an end real soon, y'all. Go to the community section, see what I have available. Follow the instructions on the community section. Cash App, hit the email, and I'll send you the link to your fantasy football. This has been 1995 The Roar. I'm your host, Grande Gato, also known as The Big Cat. This has been The Roar. Restoring the roar for the fans, by the fans. All right, hit the like, share, subscribe button. We up out of here.